taken in the public. So please take a seat and we shall begin. Also, please share the live stream video with the members, team leaders, alumni from your community, because we will live stream it on YouTube. The VPs and LCPs have the link already, so they can easily share it to the network. So yes, please do that, and we will begin in a few seconds. Thank you.
And please do not use the Wi-Fi network. Use mobile data so that we can do the live stream. Thank you.
Am mers pe sârmă de 1000 de ori și nici măcar nu am avut vreun antrenor, nici vreun ajutor. Am dat o bară de 1000 de ori, dar e un hagi în mine care știe să dea gol, să mă facă învingător. Viața trece în viteză, în dopte și o paranteză și oricât mi-ar fi de greu, nicio de mai mă găsești mereu. Îmi cere inima să o mai spun o dată, asta e țara mea, jur că e minunată. Cei care simt nevoie să înceapă nebunia, din toată inima pentru România. Îmi cere
Hello AIESEC in Romania. I am Robert, president of AIESEC in Romania. Thank you. So, I want to start this firstly by thanking you for coming here today. I know that some of you spent a lot of time to arrive here, and we appreciate that, and it also shows the passion that you have for this organization. Today is a special night because we celebrate the 33rd anniversary of AIESEC in Romania. And this, for me, in a way, it's like celebrating excellence. Because if all the people that we had in this 33 generation didn't spend countless nights not sleeping, passionately working for this organization, sacrificing a lot of things, just so that we can be here tonight and celebrate this, and also for bringing the impact that we all discuss about. So let's give a big round of applause for all the people that have worked for this organization until this point. I don't know how many of you know how AIESEC in Romania was founded. It was actually just months after the fall of communism, where the people of Romania finally gained their freedom. And it was also a very needed moment for Romania to have such an organization, to finally have some leadership that can take this country further in the right direction. And the story is that AIESEC in Austria was actually the founding entity of AIESEC in Romania, and they saw a good opportunity for our country to have AIESEC. And basically some members from AIESEC in Austria came here, and together with some students from ASE founded AIESEC in Romania. And the member that was responsible for this collaboration, who was Wolfgang Klar, was traveling back and forth from Vienna to Bucharest monthly to make sure that the base of this entity is set and that we are actually going in the right direction. Tonight we have here many generations of AIESECers. Actually, some people that are here joined the organization before I was born, and I'm quite old, you know. But we have here politicians, CEOs of important companies from Romania, leaders of great NGOs, and for me this shows that AIESEC truly delivers in its leadership promise. For me this somehow is a pattern, it's not a coincidence. But right now, to take it more to the present days, you know, seeing what's happening right now in the world, having so many conflicts, having bombs dropping just hundreds of kilometers away from where we stand right now, is unfortunately a confirmation that AIESEC is still very relevant and very needed right now in society. And that is the moment for us to truly act and to achieve peace and fulfillment of humankind's potential. This year we promise that we are gonna fill the gaps in the educational system of Romania, because we truly believe that this is what's needed long-term for our country, and that we are working to create change makers for our society by impacting 1% of the country this year. But we can only do this if we truly act as one, if we walk the talk, and if we defy the limits. So I really believe that this is the moment for us to truly act. Just imagine how would Romania look like 20, 30 years from now if the leadership from the country would be people like Ștefan Pălărie, Ștefan Teișanu, like Zipu, and many, many other people that this organization created up until this point. These are the true change makers that will make a true impact in the country long time from now. And these people are a true example that even 10, 20 years from after you leave this organization, you still have the same passion, you still have the same values and the mentality, and you still deliver on the AIESEC mission. So, to end this, I don't know, let's just enjoy this moment together. Let's celebrate AIESEC in Romania. And after this, let's also party like true AIESECers. Okay. Now we are going to watch a video of the history of AIESEC in Romania that the amazing Coralia created for us. And yes, happy birthday, AIESEC.
Am mers pe sârmă de 1000 de ori și nici măcar nu am avut vreun antrenor, nici vreun ajutor. Am dat în bară de 1000 de ori, dar e un hagi în mine care știe să dea gol, să mă facă învingător. Viața trece în viteză, într-un doctor și o paranteză, și oricât ne-ar fi de greu, în picior de ploaie mă găsești mereu. Îmi cere inima să o mai spun o dată, asta e țara mea, jur că-i minunată. Cei care simt la fel să înceapă nebunia, din toată inima pentru România. Îmi cere inima să o mai spun o dată, asta e țara mea, jur că-i minunată. Cei care simt la fel să înceapă nebunia, din toată inima pentru România. Din toată viteză, ritm de și o paranteză. Și oricât mi-ar fi de greu, prin picior de plai mă găsești mereu. Îmi cere inima să o mai spun o dată. Asta e țara mea, jur că e minunată. Cei care simt la fel să înceapă nebunia. Din toată inima pentru România.
Pentru că mi-am dat seama că ce vreau în viață, m-am respectiv și merge foarte bine cu foarte multe pe care am așa moment.
Please welcome up AIESEC Romania! On deck, thank you AIESEC Romania! On deck we have
Pentru România. Viața trece în viteză, ritm de și o paranteză. Și oricât mi-ar fi de greu, prin picior de plai mă găsești mereu. Îmi cere inima să o mai spun o dată. Asta e țara mea, jur că e minunată. Cei care simt la fel să înceapă nebunia. Din toată inima pentru România. Îmi cere inima să o mai spun o dată. Asta e țara mea, jur că e minunată. Cei care simt la fel să înceapă nebunia. Din toată inima pentru România. Îmi cere inima să o mai spun o dată.
winner is AIESEC in
Din toată inima pentru România. Aici rămân chiar dacă nu-i ușor, căci vai cum mi-ar întări să pot să zbor deasupra tuturor. Francezii poate că trebuie să învețe că nu se pronunță brân cu si. Regretar se la vie. Viața trece în viteză, ritm de și o paranteză. Și oricât mi-ar fi de greu, prin picior de plai mă găsești mereu. Îmi cere inima să o mai spun o dată. Asta e țara mea, jur că e minunată. Cei care simt la fel să înceapă nebunia. Din toată inima pentru România. Îmi cere inima să o mai spun o dată. Asta e țara mea, jur că e minunată. Cei care simt la fel să înceapă nebunia. Din toată inima pentru România.
Hey, AIESEC!
To those of you who are thinking, who's this weird guy in front of us right now? My name is Alex Claude. I am the... Okay, so I do have fans. That's good. So first and foremost, I am an AIESEC alumnus of AIESEC in Sibiu. And I am proudly in the position of President of AIESEC Alumni Romania. And I wanted to build on this shout that we have been perpetuating throughout every generation, called Romania's Everywhere. I did a bit of digging in the idea that I asked two alumni. Where does this come from? Like, when did it start? And from these two very credible sources, I know that it's something around 2002, 2003. So basically, it's 20 years old. And it started because of two things. Because it wanted to describe a reality, and because it had an aspiration. The reality was that Romanians, especially Romanian AIESECers, were not happy with what they could only do here. They wanted to do their impact outside of Romania. So every year we started seeing this pattern. People were joining LCs abroad, MCs abroad, and as you saw in 2007, we even had our first president of AIESEC International from Romania. And I say first because it's definitely not going to be the last. I'm waiting. I'm looking at some people here. And you know what I mean. But this was the reality that kick-started properly somewhere around 2009 because we started having a Facebook group. And every year we started actually counting and measuring where is Romania? Like, how spread out are we? And we started seeing something like 20 to 30 people every year in MCs abroad. In Europe, in Asia, in the Americas. We founded AIESEC in Costa Rica. We had Tea Ciolacu, who was part of founding AIESEC in Costa Rica. Then we had AIESEC in Ireland, who closed and again was opened by the MCP of 2009, Vlad Fejer, together with other Romanian alumni. Just saying. And that was a reality that kept on going and is going still today. Last year when I chaired the conference in AIESEC in Denmark, the current MCP was Tudor Nae, a Romanian, and his successor was Bogdan Gabor, another Romanian. And what I know for sure is that the former LCP of Gala is now in the MC of Poland, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a reality that still lives on. But as I said, this describes not just a reality, but an aspiration. And that aspiration is that us as AIESECers, we would be everywhere in the terms of changing things that we saw around us. And slowly but surely, it started happening. First and foremost, AIESECers have always produced great trainers. That's why, after you finish AIESEC, if you think about who are the best training companies in Romania, all of them are either founded by AIESECers or are filled with AIESECers. I'm talking Trend Consult, I'm talking Ascendis, I'm talking Universum, I'm talking TMI, I'm talking a lot. And that's not it. Because we also have people in the NGO sector. They're all very well spread out. If you go to any big company, we're talking the big fours, Deloitte, PwC, all the way to Oracle, Google, Microsoft, you will find an AIESECer there. It might be actually the person that will recruit you. Because eventually that will come up as a subject. And not only that, not only are we working here, we're working abroad as well. We're spread out in so many different countries. And luckily, since very recently, we have seen an even bigger aspiration, and that we have AIESECers in the Romanian parliament. And we hope that starting next year, we're going to have more of them. That also implies us coming to vote, but that's for another speech. That being said, Romania's everywhere is a reality because we have that drive, but it's an aspiration and invitation to all of you. Your journey begins here, but this is just not even the pilot episode of the journey that lies ahead. There are many experiences waiting for you here in AIESEC Romania as well as abroad, as well as the great experiences that await after you finish your AIESEC experience. It's a long, beautiful journey with a huge community that is welcoming you. All you have to do is choose what is your path, and we will prepare the direction for you the same way you were greeted here inside with a nice cup of champagne. All you have to do is walk the talk. That being said, everyone, let us make sure that when we scream this shout, we don't just say it for the sake of scaring our lovely guests here that have been giving us food. We do it because we believe in the reality and we believe in that aspiration that at the end of the day, Romania's where? Everywhere! Romania's where? Everywhere! Romania's boom, 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 boom everywhere! Boom, boom everywhere! And, oh, and by the way, just as another thing that I forgot to mention, it was in the speech, there's a lot of alumni that are also writing books and launching books around this time. We have 3 that are currently launching their books. One of them is actually here. It's up to you to figure out who it is. All right, I'm gonna see which of you figure that out. It's not that complicated. It just means going and talking with each alumni. They're not all that many. And ask them, are you writing a book? Do you have a book? And then you'll see what happens. But besides that, we have some alumni that we wanted to give you the chance to see what they do, what is their current impact in the world, what they've learned from AIESEC. And in order for that to happen, I'm going to invite my lovely vice president from AIESEC Alumni in Romania, the vice president of membership, a dear friend. Let's welcome here, Alexandru Daniel Dumitru, also known as Mitru!
Tough speech to follow, but I'm going to manage it because what I've learned in AIESEC is that when you're not ready to do something, you can delegate. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. A couple of words about why I'm here. As Alex said, I'm part of his team for AIESEC Alumni Romania. I'm in charge of membership of the people that you are going to see over here and the alumni experience. I was a member from 2014 to 2017. I had the pleasure and the honor to found AIESEC in the University of Bucharest. And that's it from my side, because I said that I want to delegate this speech. I have 3 amazing alumni with me, and I want to invite them in front. So please, Stefan, and Zipu. So, how many of you are new members? And this is your first conference, right? Okay, so what Coralia asked us to do is to show you a little bit about how an AIESEC alumni was impacted by the AIESEC experience that they had. So this is going to be a discussion about how the experience was for them and how it helped them further. I'm going to invite you to think about some questions because at the end we are going to have an open Q&A session. So if you have any curiosity now or at the party, you can ask us. So let's start. Good. Hello, nice to have you over here. Okay, so first of all, let's do a round of introductions. I'm going to ask you to say your name, LC, current job position, how do you want to call it, and what is your main passion besides your job right now?
Start this way.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, AIESEC. Shortly, my name is Stefan Pălărie. I'm coming from LC Bucharest. Big crowd, isn't it? Big crowd. And currently, just to keep it short, I'm a senator in the Romanian Parliament. I'm working in the Committee of Education and Labor and Social Affairs. Closer, okay. And in terms of passion, I think AIESEC was, is, and still is going to be my passion because it's connected with a very strong value of mine, which is education and continuous development. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will make you an offer you cannot refuse. I'm Zipu. In the papers, I'm Mihai. I also have a normal name. I was an AIESECer the previous millennium, 94, 99, 2 years in LC Bucharest. 3 years in the MCP, 98, 99. I've been working for more than 20, I don't want to say more, years. In people area, I'm an entrepreneur in leadership consulting and coaching part, as Alex said, trainers, consultants. This is many of us who didn't have the courage to go to the Senate. Anything else? Passion. Only one phrase. Once an AIESECer, always an AIESECer.
Hi everyone. Hey AIESEC! Nice. I missed that. I guess none of you were born when you guys were in AIESEC. So, hello. Nice to meet you. My name is Stefan. My AIESEC name, which actually made it to my afterlife, is Sh. I'm coming from AIESEC Cluj. I was the president there. I was the president there back in 2005 to 2006. Now my work is in the civil society. I'm involved with several organizations I co-founded. One is called the Cluj Cultural Center. This is a big one, gathering mostly everyone big in culture in the Cluj area, from public administration to universities and all the culture and creative sector. We're trying to run local and national, but also European cultural policy for the sector, because I believe that culture can make this world a better place by building trust, by building a context for encounters. And this is where I get to my passion, which is culture, especially its writing. I wrote a rock album. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I do other stuff as well. Also in the civil society, I have a small organization in my hometown. That's Daraban, the northernmost town of the country in Botoșani. It's called North, and this is the place where we try to build a new context for young people that leave the small towns of the country, come back in a special context to do something for the local development. I'm also a member of the plenary of the Romanian Social and Economic Committee. I'm a Secretary General of a European network for cities that work with cultural and sustainable development. That's called Culture Next.
So as you see, we brought you the best of the best from the alumni community. The first question that I have for you, because for many of them it's the first conference, let's see how, imagine the first conference that you've been to in AIESEC, and how is that version of you versus the version that we see right now tonight?
I have never had a picture as a vision. It was always a journey. And I walked with AIESEC as an active member as long as I could. So when I graduated, I needed to also leave other younger people to run AIESEC after. But I never quit that, and that's why I'm always together with AIESEC in multiple bouquet, let's say, of roles. I have also founded AIESEC Alumni in Romania in 2019. Which our team successfully handed to these beautiful people, Alex, Mitru, and the nice ladies over there. And they are doing an awesome job. So as I said, it's a journey. Once an AIESECer, always an AIESECer. This journey was possible only for AIESEC. I don't know if this is the time, but my life experience is very much different only because of AIESEC and not of other things. There were some other minimum contributors to my career, and I would mention here even my formal studies. AIESEC was maybe the place that showed me the world is a global village, and that showed me that many people can have one voice and can achieve a lot. So for me it's a never-ending journey, which I am just enjoying. I don't have a picture, and I always enjoy doing and running on this ride, and that's why I'm always here. Am I grateful or not for what I am now? When I look around here or in my business life or in my family, I can say, yes, I am.
Well, I definitely was. I was a lot skinnier. I saw some pictures with me in this movie. So yeah, my hair looked different also. But I remember myself from my first year in AIESEC, my first days in AIESEC, as someone that was very, very determined to find out who he is by experimenting a lot. And that's why in my AIESEC journey I took it all. I was in a part of all the projects, of all the departments, of all the teams. So that's who I was back there. I only knew that this is something that I need to do because this is a great opportunity ahead of me just to explore this world and understand how it works and understand how I work in the world. And I remember that when I left AIESEC 4 years later, I actually wrote something that became a credo of mine, which is people can be what they want to be. And for me, that has started with AIESEC, because to become who you want to become, to be what you want to be, it needs two phases. One is your determination to explore, to experiment, to understand what are your possibilities, what are your limitations, who can you actually be. And second, it's the determination, the courage, and the skills building that would enable you to do the things, to act upon the decision of who you want to be. So I think the main difference between back then and now is that I'm still exploring, but I understand that exploration is actually this is forever.
Well, you say with tough questions you get philosophical answers. So first national AIESEC conference, I think it was still lingering for me somehow the feeling that I kind of tricked them during the recruitment, and that I got in even though I don't think that I was fully checking all the criteria and being really as good as they expected me to be. And this obviously says a lot about my self-esteem that moment. I was really feeling extremely lucky. I felt that this is kind of an American brotherhood, this kind of university, cool place where you drink a lot and you have the chance to meet friends. By the way, in the first national AIESEC conference, I met my current wife, so watch out, this is the last night of this conference. You might meet the next, spouse, your future husband, future wife tonight, so pay attention. But before that, I had this strong feeling that there's something more I really admire the people. I admire the people in the MC that time. I admire the people in the EB. I felt that they kind of know a bit more than I do. They were having extremely inspirational speeches, and I could see and I could feel that AIESEC was a bit about something more. And indeed, I stayed with AIESEC 5 years of my life, and year by year, exactly as you guys said, doing every single project, getting involved, volunteer, OC member, OCP, EB member, and so on. My horizon of what is possible expanded every single month, every single year. So now when I look back at me, if I could give an advice to me in my first national conference, was, trust yourself more, ask zillions of questions. Maybe you're not gonna sleep too much, but spend until 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, grab an alumni and talk like there is no tomorrow, and ask zillions of questions and get as much inspiration as you can. Because truly AIESEC is an amazing organization, and we hope that some of our members are living proof of that. But indeed, it's a life-changing experience if you know how to take it. Thank you.
I will build up a little bit on what Ștefan said, because in AIESEC, for me, for example, was a playground where I had a chance to fail and see what works and what not, and not just from a theoretical perspective, but from a practical point of view, when you have the chance to work and see what's what. So my question for you is, if you can describe what was your most challenging moment during your AIESEC experience, and what's the lesson that you got from that moment?
I want to go first. And by the way, I think I'm here for the gender balance. Yeah. I just told the story at the table a minute earlier. When I was an LCP, I pitched to host that AIESEC Cruz will host the next national conference, and then my term was over, and then they invited me when the time came. They invited me to chair that conference, and it was a conference where 400 delegates were announced, but 600 showed up. So you can imagine the mess in that conference when. You had 200 delegates more than expected, so there was no place, there was no bed left in the hotels. We had to book 3 other hotels. I was going there as the old one to book hotels in Sovata. After midnight, they were looking at me like, "Do you need a room?" "No, we need like 60." So it was like a really big issue. You can imagine that. It's not the same to organize a conference for 400 and organizing it for 600. Lunch times, meals times were the time allocated for this was not enough, because now you needed to bring more people in. We didn't have enough facilitators. We didn't have enough OC people to host, to accommodate all these people, and we didn't have enough rooms. So that was my first and only time in an AIESEC conference, and actually in my life until now, when I was actually booed on a stage, because people were so unhappy with the situation in the first evening plenary. I remember that the hotel was totally mad on the OC because it was obvious that we have more people than announced. The delegates were totally mad on the OC and with everyone, and especially with me, which I was the front figure of the conference, because they were shouting like, "We're sleeping 8 of us in the same room. What is this? We don't have enough food. There is no time for anything." So it was like really bad atmosphere. I haven't been booed ever. I didn't know what to do on the stage. When I see 100 people, my eye contact was like this, like. So we had this meeting after first midnight. Okay, what can we do? And I had a terrible night. And at some point, I remember I called you because years before you chaired the conference that I liked, and you were one of my chairperson models, and I called him and I asked, okay, I have this situation. It's like it's really crazy. What can I do? What would you do? I don't know. I have no clue. So, but I don't know. People will remember this anyhow. So I don't know. Try to have fun, to do something. I don't know. They will remember this conference. And then what I did in the first morning, I opened the morning plenary with these big statistics. I counted all the members, the official members in all the LCs. And I put that in a table with the current delegates from each LC, and I said, okay, we are only 600 people here. We can bring more people from our hometowns. Let's make this is already the biggest conference in AIESEC in Romania ever, but we can be 800! And people are like, what, are you mental? Are you? And I kept on with this, and then I remember in another intervention I counted the number of alumni. I said, like, call your alumni now, bring your alumni here. We're gonna make this impossible to forget. We will keep this in mind as either the shitty conference or the biggest conference that ever happened. And in that evening the second evening plenary, so on the second day, I wasn't booed. I was like everybody was ecstatic. Before that, one evening before, they were saying like, "Oh, we sleep 8 people in the same room," and now I was asking questions. So who's the room with the biggest number of people? We're 10, we're 12. Yeah. So that was my toughest moment. I really loved it.
All right, it's difficult to top up on that, but I'm gonna have two stories, very short. One of the most challenging moments I remember is that in my second year of AIESEC, when I was in the organizing committee of the national conference, we had a in-kind partner who gave us, I think, about 100 liters of whipped cream. Frischka, just to clarify. But it was a kind of, in kind of containers, and you needed to mix it so that it became whipped cream. So somebody had in the last night the brilliant idea to put it all in a tub water, like in the tub in Kada, to fill it in, and then they brought some electronical mixers in the Kada, in the tub, and they made 100 liters of whipped cream. And then the question was, so now what? What do we do with that? Another brilliant mind came with the idea, let's have a whipped cream fight in the hotel. And that was taking, I think, about 1 hour. And then the question is, how do you explain to the hosts and to the hotel owners that was an emergency and we had to do it? And that was, I think, a bit more difficult than yours. Somehow we survived the life. And along the same idea, because now I'm coming from Poiana Brașov, and by the way, talking about gender balance, Oana Tsoiu, our colleague, was supposed to be with us here, but she couldn't make it in the last moment. Exactly in Poiana Brașov, it was my first national conference. And that was so exotic and so opulent that in fact ended up with, I think, about 30,000 euros debt of AIESEC to that hotel. So after the whole conference was over, don't give them ideas, crazy ideas. Yeah, so then basically it was like in the last night, and then the OC members came to us and say, maybe that was, I'm talking about 1998. In 1998, they said maybe this was the last AIESEC in Romania conference ever. So then, 20 years later, or now in 2023, nobody's going to be in Târgu Mureș. There's going to be no AIESEC existing anymore because everybody's going to be in jail. But it took about 6 months. It was about 6 months of severe fundraising, calling from the fixed phones, different companies, begging for money, explaining why leadership is important. I'm talking leadership, out of jail. It's important.
Now I have to fit into the picture. I wanted to talk about my first part of my MCP term, but it doesn't fit in this picture, so I have to keep it for the next questions. I will complete the image that the Stefans were describing, and I cannot remember the delegation of AIESEC Cluj-Napoca at Felix, one of our conferences, 97, maybe 98. The record was 27 people delegation with only one double room reservation and with a strategy. So,
It was double, it was okay.
yeah, minimum 10 people out of them needed to match in the first night, so then they have where to sleep. The other 13 people were sleeping in the bed and under and near the beds in the double room, including the bathroom. And a couple of others were either sleeping on the couches in the reception or waiting for some others to wake up so they can go to the bedroom. Then, of course, I could not leave this without mentioning Elsie Craiova. And the challenging moment was, again, around 97, 98. Obviously, no mobile phones. All delegations in the trains going to the conference site. Maybe you remember that. It was supposed to be in Orshova. And the delegation from Gala came first one night before, and they said, guys, this is unlivable here. There are so big cockroaches, there are rats. It smells like shit, we cannot have the conference here. And then what happened in half an hour, AIESEC Craiova completely changed the place to Tornoseverin. Complete park hotel in Tornoseverin, much nicer, plenary room, party room, everything was arranged by a couple of phone calls. And that's one of the skills in Craiova, to be really quick to solve crisis situations. But the crisis itself were that the people were going to the wrong place. Everybody in the same time. So they put 2 people in Orshova in the railway station to tell everybody who comes from Timișoara or Oradea to go one more station to Severin. But they got so drunk by the moment that nobody believed them, so everybody was going. And they said, come on, they are Craiova, this is Brasilia, we cannot, of course the conference is here. But then we realized it was not. And the biggest part of the delegates were coming from Bucharest, all what's Iași, Galați, Constanța, Bucharest, and so on. And it was a team of people in the Severin railway station with banners written AIESEC Jos. So like, AIESEC get down from the train. Of course, when you know these people, you know their faces, you know their jokes, and you said, look at them. And then some of them went into the train, taking the luggages of AIESECers and going with the luggage back. So this way they managed to take at least 10, 20 people out. The others ended up in Orshova with the other ones that were waiting there. So somehow these things happen all the time. And this is the charm of being an AIESECer. And what I can tell is that after AIESEC, you are very unlikely to meet this kind of moments again. Not like that.
Thank you so much for these amazing stories. I can assure you that there are more, much more. So my challenge for you tonight is to find out as many as you can. And I want to build up on what Zipu said about life after AIESEC. Does it really exist? Because for a lot of us, it's just a myth that life exists after AIESEC. So my question for you is, how was for you the transition from the AIESEC life to your current career, family context, let's say?
Well, yes. I think just before entering the room during one of the breaks, somebody from AIESEC said, my term is almost over. In 3 months, it's all gone. And it made me actually remember about this very fast pace from AIESEC. And this kind of an amazing organization for me in terms of design that entrusts people who are students in the first year or second year of university with jobs, responsibilities, attributes, and sometimes not easy, in leadership positions. And what I can say definitely, especially in the first years after you leave AIESEC, is that this becomes kind of an adrenaline shot. You get so much used with somebody from outside and trusting you that you can do it, and then after 1 year, when you finally can really do it, you feel the need to change the job again because now you say, I learned it, what's next? While in the real life, people, they said, okay, you had 1 year to learn, and now you're gonna spend the next 9 years doing the job that you just learned in order to produce back to the organization or to the company. Obviously, it's not everywhere the same, but I remember vividly that in the first years after AIESEC, I felt this contradiction between my fast pace that I got used from AIESEC and my first jobs in Procter & Gamble or IBM as very procedural companies that they were expecting from me, a bit of more patience from the career steps. Secondly, now it depends how much time you spend in AIESEC and how international you're going to have as an experience, but especially if you're going to have a lot of friends abroad, when you're going to finally get married, as I did, I got a lot of friends coming over for our wedding. In our case, it was somewhere in Bran. And then obviously, because a lot of international friends came to my wedding, guess what? They invited us to their wedding as well. So along with this career challenges, it was also personal challenges of going to a lot of weddings, which is sometimes, especially if it's over the continent flight, extremely expensive. It's an expensive hobby to go to weddings and have thousands of friends to your ones. Not thousands, but hundreds for sure. What I might say as well is that it really depends. For many people, and not necessarily my experience, but talking with other alumni, leaving AIESEC, some people felt like they lived a bubble-wrapped kind of ideal world where everybody's friendly, everybody's smiling, everybody's supporting each other, and then reality hit like a hammer. Some other people said, no, I was successful in bringing the kind of AIESEC experience I had in my day-to-day work. And I think it's also a matter of personal leadership, if you can do that, or you just get kidnapped by the surrounding reality. So, as a closing thought, I think it's really up to you a lot how you're going to take the challenges of leaving AIESEC. But guys, sooner or later, you're going to leave AIESEC. So you're going to come on our bench of alumni and see how AIESEC looks from the other side of the fence. Thank you.
For life after AIESEC, there is always AIESEC alumni Romania. So, it's interesting how you define this term after. It's somehow after, because it never ends. For me, it was exactly as Stefan said. If you come from a certain position, you are MCP, you go to 3 ICs, you are part of the international support team and so on. And then you go to an interview and you become assistant of I don't know what. Yes, it was a very exciting business. My first job was in a headhunting executive search company, but I needed to start to do basic things correctly, not to give speeches and lead people doing things, no, me. And that was a shock. But what is important is that the experience in AIESEC made it easy for me. First, I was going to be a software developer until I got in AIESEC and I realized I'm a people person. Then I discovered the HR field, which was just at the beginning. in 95, 96 when the companies, the multinationals started to come in Romania. Before that it was personnel administration, nothing sexy. HR, development, leadership and so on was already something different. I wanted it and I went for it and I'm still doing this. Then the MCP term helped me not accept just to be a performant employee, but why not making my own job and becoming an entrepreneur. So that's why I worked for others only for 3 years after AIESEC, and at 27 years old I have founded my first business, and ever since I'm entrepreneur in whatever I am doing now. Besides this, I cannot just stay like this and have a business life and family life, kids and so on. That's why something was always pulling me next to AIESEC. And coming here is always recharging batteries on high speed, so then I'm happier and I'm more energetic and I can go back to what I do day by day. And this is why it's not like us alumni come and tell you things. It's us alumni taking a lot from here and having a nice smile on our face even weeks after.
In AIESEC, I remember I got my first sales trainings at some point, and I'll be honest with you and tell you that I'm still using this info today, and I practice it. I took it forward to all my organizations. I include the same information in my trainings today as well. In AIESEC, of course, we all learn some HR in AIESEC. When I was a president, we had this idea of local identity. It was one of our objectives on that term, and we built together with the entire LC back then what is called today the SIG Pedacim, the values of AIESEC Cluj. You cannot. What is the rock? What is the rock? And you cannot imagine how important was that to me. When I got to build new organizations later on, and I built a few organizations. I forgot to mention some of them in my presentation, but for instance, we are doing the largest jazz festival in Romania with one of them. So that work on organizational values, on how the people relate to their work, what is the meaning of the work, how you connect the purpose of your work with the purpose of you as an individual, it was like a key learning for me, and I took it with me in everything that I did. And a third thing that I took like very, very concretely from AIESEC, except for a wife and some other stuff. Well, we're divorced now, but still, we're fine. A third thing was when I was in AIESEC, we were working on something that was called the AIESEC experience. It was just like very, very new. In this movie earlier, you saw something with Juan Cahiao, a former trainee that became integrated in the Cluj LC and became a full member. And so this guy was one of the first product of this AIESEC experience. And I still remember that chart with the AIESEC experience today. And for instance, in my biggest organization, our biggest organization, the Cluj Cultural Center, which is 30 full-time staff and tens of other people hired, and it's a complex organization. We actually built something very, very similar to that. And it was only the AIESEC, my personal AIESEC experience that taught me that these sort of matrix are really useful and really relatable in our daily work life, so to say. And now we have something that we call WIST. It's our theory of change, how do we perform social change through culture, and it's a stages process that I think I'm saying this for the first time in public, is like totally inspired from my experience with the AIESEC experience. And I'm gonna close with a story which is not mine, but it's Robert's. What do you do after AIESEC with your AIESEC life, with your AIESEC experience? So Robert's afterlife started 5 years or 4 years ago when we were at this alumni gala in Cluj, and he was just receiving the alumni diploma. And then we got drunk on that party. I still have that picture with you, and you said, "I think I'm gonna go back." So that's also an option for after AIESEC.
I've told you at the beginning that what AIESEC taught me is how to delegate. So now it's your turn. If you have any question for the people that are right here in front with me. Okay, so I was going to ask you to stand up and speak as loud as you can.
Can you repeat the question?
And I'm going to repeat the question. Okay, so they had a moment in the conference when they dreamed about how AIESEC is going to look like in 20 or 30 years from now. If you think back at your AIESEC experience and how you've imagined AIESEC after 20 years, it's right now what you've imagined or not?
For the people who were impacted, it is. So we are some of the people impacted by AIESEC. Trainees were people impacted by AIESEC, and a lot of other people. Yes, it's far from being 1% of Romania's population. But I always like to make a comparison with this story with a guy on the shore of the sea, just seeing thousands of fishes brought by the high tide, just moving on the sand. He was throwing fishes back to the water, and another guy comes and asks him, "Why are you doing this?" "I'm saving the fishes." "Yeah, but you can save only a few. Look how many they are. It will make no difference. For this one, I do." So for the ones that AIESEC is touching and impacting and makes them stay like 5 years in AIESEC and being involved after 10, 20 years, I can tell you, yes, from all my heart, I think AIESEC is what I want it to be, and everything turned back to me.
It was a beautiful question and a beautiful answer. Now I feel like I'm in this Miss Universe contest when they ask you this sort of question, and you have to really behave. But no, really, that's a really beautiful question, and thank you for that. I probably owe most of what I am professionally to AIESEC. I'm a dropout from 3 universities and an international MBA. So yeah, it's AIESEC. And a lot of what I am personally, it's also AIESEC, because it was a real foundation for me. And every time I come to this sort of conferences or reunions, or I do something with my colleagues in AIESEC in Cluj, I have the feeling that I am back where it started, and it feels the same, and it's the same. Although I don't know the people, I don't know some of the words you might mention or some of the acronyms now, but it's definitely the same spirit and it's the same energy, and that for me is a yes to your question. As long as AIESEC keeps on doing this, keeps on being able to deliver this feeling that people from 20 or 30 years ago feel at home with you guys. We don't know you, but we feel that we are part of the same organization. It means that AIESEC is doing a good job. And no, I don't think AIESEC is actually able to imagine something that is going to be technically fulfilled in 20 years, because that's part of our exercise, so to say. It's part of our exercise to push our limits, to learn more. But the product of AIESEC is not what we are actually delivering just in our AIESEC time. That's a big part of it, but I think that the essential part of it is you, each of you, each of us. This is what AIESEC delivers, and as long as some old products like we are feel at home with you guys, and if you feel at home with us, I think, yes, AIESEC is doing what I imagined, what I was hoping that AIESEC will do in 20 years.
Yeah, I also want to say excellent question for sure. I'm going to be extremely honest. I don't remember exactly how, when in our times, 98 to 2003, in my case, we envisioned AIESEC. We envision how AIESEC is going to look in 10 years' time or 20 years' time. But what I can say, and I have this advantage of, historically looking back, which is easy, it's just facts and data. AIESEC had some very bad moments and also had some amazing moments. Yeah, you had moments when there were like literally conferences with 600 delegates or 1,000 delegates, visiting as well. AIESEC had moments when the MCP shook hand of the president of the country several times, different presidents of the country, because it was relevant, because organized IPMs or Euro conferences, European conferences here, or ITCs, training conferences. So there were moments when AIESEC did amazing things. Yeah, you had on the video the year when the number of traineeships organized exceeded 1,000. This is huge impact. This is huge impact. But I think it's good to be honest, but also sometimes AIESEC went down. When AIESEC had either weak leadership or good leadership but with a bad direction. Yeah, so you also need to watch out for this kind of situations. And also you have this saying, strong men or strong leaders. No, I think it starts with tough times create strong leaders, and then strong leaders, create good times, and then good times create weak leaders and weak people, because they just enjoy the fun of the rest, and then you're gonna hit hard times. But all in all, I think it's right what AIESEC is doing every single year, envisioning, kicking your ass to get there as much as possible, and even though you might not, land exactly where you want it to, doing your best to achieve as much as possible, I think that's the way to go. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for the question. We have one more. We have time for one more. So it's you over there, which was the first, please.
So my name is Alex, and I'm a member of AIESEC Timișoara. I just need a short and quick answer from each one of you. Can you give me some examples of shouts or roll calls from your times?
So examples of shouts of roll calls from your times.
We are going to perform one when they will kick us out from the stage. So yes, the short answer for all of us is yes, we are going to do something for you soon.
Okay, so to get one more, okay, so let's take one more. In the second row over there, please. Yeah.
So hi, I'm Ioana. I'm team leader on AIESEC in I'm gonna try to speak louder. If you would give one piece of advice to the new members that
Thank you so much, Joanna. This was my last question. I can show you. So, if you have any advice for the new members and the current members and the future alumni, which would be right now?
I would answer shortly with the words of Steve Jobs: stay foolish, stay hungry. When you get home from this conference, do take some time to write something like journaling pages of what happened to you here, what you feel, what you felt here. Take your sugar cubes, if you still use sugar cubes, you know, that envelope, special envelope, that is vitamins for very difficult moments, I would say. Before reaching home, in your bus or train, driving back at home, decide what you want to do next. Decide what you want to do next week. Decide what is going to be the first project that you're going to get involved in, and fully get involved. And if you feel like you lose faith, make sure that you're going to be part of the next National AIESEC conference, and then you're going to get loaded eventually with motivation and skills and attitudes and cool trainings, like Stefan said, that you might use for the rest of your life. But work, do, act, hold on, stay foolish, stay hungry. Thank you.
In order to grow and evolve, there is no faster process than being challenged. In order that the challenge won't bring you to anxiety and burnout and all these kind of things, you need a psychologically safe place and a lot of peer support. AIESEC is maybe one of the safest places where you can try the most crazy things, not risking your life, your money, your apartment, and whatever you want to risk, being a learning environment and allowing you especially to learn how to work with people. This is not taught in schools. How to work as a team player, how to work as a team leader and as an executive leader of the organization. So this is the place to learn, to be challenged, and to land safely, even if you make mistakes.
Did you say beer support or peer support?
Beer is always welcome.
My piece of advice would be to just postpone gratification. Don't expect to be content very soon, because what we are doing in AIESEC and what most of you will be doing in the life after AIESEC, it's not going to be easy. It's not easy, and it's not going to be easy. We are ambitious, we always aim high, we throw the ball very, very far away, and we go to places where not so many people have been, or maybe to some places where we're going for the first time. So there's no reason why we should expect that this is going to be easy, and this is going to be measurable, and this is going to happen in due time and at the level of all the expectations. What I learned in AIESEC and in my almost 20 years after is that if you are too fast, if you are going too fast in evaluating your journey towards your dream or towards your objective, you are very likely to fail. For instance, what I am building right now with our team in Cluj Culture Center is so ambitious. It's, for instance, one of the projects says that we will build a national network of cultural and community centers in the rural areas of Romania. This is something very difficult to achieve. If I would evaluate this after the first year or after the first 3 years, I should just quit. But we are not evaluating this, we are evaluating the process. We're evaluating if we are going the right direction, if we are evaluating if we still believe in that dream. So we should take gratification from the process, from the journey, and not from the very technical, very precise result. If we postpone this gratification, that's fuel to all of us.
So, we've reached the end of our discussion. So, as promised, we have a shout or a roll call from your side. Two shouts or roll calls.
Don't look scared. One is
And just to clarify, there were several other hands raised for questions. We're going to be still here tonight. Just approach us and ask the same questions you wanted. We're going to give you, hopefully, a good answer. Yeah.
So first one is not from my times, it's from times before me. So the guys from the early 90s who were in the first photos in the video, it's the roll call of Romania by that time, so please excuse the language or some other things. Am florit un bobocel roșu la culoare, ca o puță de cățel venită la soare. Doi cocoși cu cracii goi, cu gărea o cloșcă, ca să pună pe gunoi și să facă poștă. Unde e camera de live?
I am totally scared that I remember this.
As a politician, I'm in no way related to just what happened here. Under no circumstances, video material or pictures can be used for no further purpose. Thank you very much.
Așa, unde e camera pentru live? Asta a fost pentru tine, Mișu Podescu. Și acum o să facem ceva împreună. Este un roll call care mulți ani de zile am crezut că este roll call-ul Tunisiei. So I thought this was the roll call of Tunisia. My friend Hatem, the MCP of AIESEC in Tunisia, 98-99. Showed this to us in one of the ICs. But I learned while meeting Hatem some years ago, after many years, that no, it was not the Tunisia's roll call, it was just a joke. But I like it very much. Please stand up.
Everybody stand up.
We do something, you do the same thing afterwards. So, se corre. Manga, 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 manga. Se corre, se corre, manga. Manga. Manga, manga, manga. Manga, 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 manga.
Give them a big round of applause.
I have one last shout for you. Let's see if you know this one. Romania's where? Everywhere! Romania's where? Everywhere! Boom, 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 everywhere! Boom, boom, everywhere! And now let's party.
Guys, don't leave just yet. I just want to say also a few words. So first of all, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It has been amazing to see you, and as also a sum up, I hope that you saw how AIESEC is the same no matter what the generation, and AIESEC can truly be the place where you find your passion and you can truly discover what to expect from yourself, because you decide what you want to become and how you develop in the days to follow. And in order to end the night and before to start the nostalgia party, which I have some alignments to make as well, it will be on the other side in the field, basically for members, in the other restaurant across the road for alumni and party delegates that joined today. And we will also announce through messages overall the start of the party. But before going for that, in order to celebrate 33 years of leadership of AIESEC in Romania, I want us to end the night also with a roll call that I hope everyone knows. So I want you to join me and to dance and enjoy it.
Romania!